Share my love. 741 WVE. How about a one-year subscription to Essence Magazine plus Funk Fest both days? All right, and you qualify for a trip to the 2012 Essence Music Festival. So call in right now. DL Hughley going to be uptown tonight and tomorrow. 2 shows.
The all new.
The all new.
We changed everything but the merchandise.
We talk about you just heard R. Kelly and Share My Love. Even R. Kelly is surprised at Brian McKnight. In case you hadn't heard, Brian McKnight said he's talking to people on Twitter.
Right.
Fans said, you need to sing about something different.
Right.
And so he decided to make an adult mixtape. And you want to hear a little snippet? Here it is.
Let me show you how you breathe some words. Since you didn't bring it to me first, I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn, let me show you how you breathe some words. Bet you didn't know that it could squirt. I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn.
And scene.
You know what happened? It's a true story. First off, it's a true story. I'm not making this up. So
Okay.
we were supposed to, me and Brian was going to go on tour together.
Okay.
About 8 years ago. He wouldn't let me tour with him. Sears was going to sponsor because he said I was too vulgar.
What?
And now this dude, nasty ass. I mean, I like porno, but come on now. I don't like it watching on the internet because you got all that buffering.
Okay,
I
all right,
hate that
Gio.
part.
Okay, Gio. Okay.
But
Just get back to the Brian McKnight part.
And he used to sing songs with fishnet shirts on, man. That's I don't understand that. That grown dude with a fishnet shirt on with real fish in them. You know what I'm saying? You know how that. Tell him Charlie sent you. I don't even know what to do after that. But he did. He wouldn't. He said I was too vocal. But that's a good way to go. Write your songs based on what Twitter says. That's a #1 stunner right there. Listening to people on Twitter.
Have you gotten into a tweef?
Yeah, a lot.
You be tweefing?
Yeah. Well, I don't actually do a tweet because it's ridiculous.
Okay, cause
But I like
you do respond to somebody saying something smart to you.
If somebody says something dumb, but like I wrote a letter to Trayvon.
Right.
And I wrote it because, you know, after hearing grown men assail the character of a child, I don't care how you whatever. He still had to go to a pediatrician. He couldn't vote, couldn't join the army without permission. So to watch grown men assail the character of a boy,
Right.
who was killed by a grown man, which seemed obnoxious to me, and that we all forget that we were 17, made some of the dumbest mistakes ever. So I write this letter, and a bunch of people from the right wing said some really, you know, because ultimately it wasn't about what political stripe you come from.
Mm-hmm.
A human being is gone, and through no fault of his own, he was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing, and he's not here anymore. And people, rather than looking at the situation from a human perspective, decided that they were going to take an ideological standpoint. It was just some of the things people say to each other, like the brochure of this country is great. Like if you read the brochure coming here, you'd be like, it's spectacular. The reality is that 420,000 people have been murdered in this country between 1962 and right now. You know, and I wonder how many people would stand their ground if they didn't have a gun. Like, you know what stand their ground used to be before they had a gun? Run. That's what it was called. It was called I'm getting that. And guns was invented to kill two things: wild animals and people you're afraid of. That's it. And I think that now you take a paranoid society, you give them guns, and you give them no fear of legal prosecution, you'll get a lot more Trayvon Martin. And so the letter came from that perspective. Like, I just don't understand why it is that people believe that our children aren't as valuable to us as theirs are to them.
Right, and you said in the letter that it was kind of co-written by your daughter.
Right.
And that was part of it as well. So how did y'all's discussion, like, how did that come out? Like, what were you discussing with your daughter about this whole situation?
I wrote a book, and it's out August 7th, and I was saying how it really made me very sad. I remember reading the account of it and just crying. And I think part of me was sad for me and for all the how many Trayvon Martins do you know at that stage, like, who are lost and smoke weed?
Well, you talk about yourself being 17,
right.
and that could have been you.
It could have been anybody I know.
Right.
And the fact that you if you had like, even now, if you take a cat like Tupac, he'd have been so much different now than he was then. You know, and all the people that probably never would have gotten to live, and that the world never would know, and never feel any sense of compassion for. That we're killing us. We're killing our children. If the children are our future, it's my children too. It's not just theirs.
Right.
And I think that ultimately, what we have to understand for a lot of young brothers out there, they think this is all there is. When I could have never ever imagined I'd have gotten to see the world from where I was coming from. And I think a lot of cats are like that. They think that this is all there is. And if you just hang on a little longer and kind of reconfigure your outlook, then things will look a lot differently. And I can't stand the way that they're, even now, that they're trying to demonize a child.
Right.
Like, because he was a big child, because he was, I never understood it. So that had caused a lot. First off, I didn't think anybody would care and that anybody would read it. And then I didn't think, because I remember crying when I called my daughter and I was writing it. And she said, you should mirror your life. So we got together and wrote it. Plus, she went to college and I didn't. So, you know, paying $250,000 for college, she's supposed to kick in.
So she proofread it. I was going to say, you said she proofread it.
I'm at work. No, you're not. You're going to read this damn letter.
You got your own spell check.
You can't tell me no when you got a job because of me. Are you crazy? You better get it in.
And y'all shared a drink when she turned 21.
Well, my youngest daughter turned 21 last night. I was in Memphis last night, so the reason I had to fly in today was she was turning 21 today. So at 12.
How was that? Because you know I got a 14 and a 10-year-old. I'm not that. You're making me nervous right now.
My daughters, I never I would never advise anybody to have a daughter. They're the worst human beings on earth. I swear. Like my oldest daughter, like you have to take them out.
Right.
My youngest daughter, I take them out to dinner all the time, and I pretend like I take them out and I listen to them. So my oldest daughter, I like oysters on a half shell, so I offered my youngest daughter something. She said, "Ooh, Daddy, I don't like the way they taste or feel going down my throat." And I said, "Ooh, I love you so much. I was so proud." I was very, and then my oldest daughter went, "Well, I love them," and I went, "What a hooker you are! That's a hooker. She's a hooker."
Oh
I'm sure she's gonna be a hooker.
That's the test. That's the D.L. Hughley test.
Oh my God! There's a pole in her future, pal. I'm telling you. I know.
Tonight, Uptown Comedy Corner. 2 shows tomorrow, too. What's the website, Gary? I got it right here, right? It is uptowncomedy.net for your tickets. DL, man, thanks for stopping by, man.
Click on the turban. It's right there. I'm just
man, he's got me thinking now because my wife suddenly took a liking to oysters. Oh, my God. Yeah. What, after y'all got married? Much like about a year ago. That's it. We've been married for 7 years.
That's not good. Cut your grass.